Kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are technically 5 miles east of Washington, D.C. That's where the home of the Washington Redskins resides. FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Washington Redskins. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. They've been flawless these last couple months, winners of 9 in a row.
And that's the kind of streak you don't see too often in today's NFL since there's so much parity. So the way they've played has been truly remarkable.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they come in after a win last week, and it had been some time since we said that. That broke a 9-game skid.
So I'm not sure if that was happiness or relief in their locker room after the last game. Let's see if they can put a second win together.
The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. First down, here's Cousins, and Diggs has it. Gets through, and now an opening. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. To throw is Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jonathan Allen make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this will be taken at the 13. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. First carry for Darius Geis. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. And for this offense, yellow highlighter around Trent Williams.
As well there should be. A Pro Bowl, all-pro type of a left tackle. So mobile, you could also see him as a tight end. This guy is a terrific football player.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. On second down, here's Haskins. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings. They played extremely well last week in that win over the Packers.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, the head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. From the gun, Haskins on third down. And he's got his man, Hilton. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing so. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Tack McKinley in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now it's Haskins looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case,
nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Ben Gideon coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here's Haskins. That's caught by Trey Quinn. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. A first carry now for Thompson. And he'll be brought down with the first down, and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
what's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. T.Y. Hilton, his 9th touchdown of the season, and they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. comes Minnesota. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well. But out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll run it here with Pirine. Ben Gideon in on the stop.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Haskins. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that.
3rd down. Here's Haskins. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that 1st down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, here's Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Cousins to throw it, and this one hauled in by Rudolph. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. 51 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, is that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
The Redskins on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, it's Haskins. He finds Coleman. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Geis. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. On first down, it's Haskins. Off to Geis on the screen. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Looking to throw, Haskins. It's caught by Coleman. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 16. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. He's got his running back, Darius Geis. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. And he finds McLaurin. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
After review of the play,
this challenge was initiated by the guys in New York taking a look at the play. Less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card. And that is caught by the tight end Reed. Touchdown, Washington. Jordan Reed, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We're starting to get near the home stretch of this NFL season. It's Week 13, so let's get an update on what's going on. We'll start up at TIAA.
And just like that, on we head to half number 2. The Redskins in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Haskins will throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. On play action, Cousins. And it's complete to Mitchell. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 27 yards there, a first down. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone. Now Cousins. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Jonathan Allen in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
And that's the 2nd sack of the game. But this player, Disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
It's complete to Diggs. Oh, and they had it stopped short of the first, but a penalty marker down. And that looked like a clear face mask to me. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal.
Watch the twitch. Watch the twitch.
They'll run for it with Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll bring up a second and goal.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. This Washington defense, they've stood tall the first 2 plays. Now third and goal. To throw, Cousins. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Jonathan Allen has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the 13-year man puts it through, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need him to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Shotgun handoff to Thompson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. On 2nd and 11 now. Haskins. Got a man, that's Quinn. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 45-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Danielle Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
9 yards on the gain there, and it's going to bring up a tough 3rd and 7.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And the catch made by Hilton. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And they'll get this down to the 10. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Haskins now, 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10. Geis, they'll try to run it. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Corey Coleman, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
Looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Throwing, Cousins, and Diggs has it. Cousins finding Diggs on a big one, 48 yards. Well, they had held him pretty well in check, but if you recall back in the first quarter, you said they needed to avoid the big play. He finally gets loose.
And the thing about it, it doesn't have to be a bunch of big plays. Sometimes one big play can be enough. That's why it's tough to deal with a guy like that.
And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. On second down, this is Madison. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Cousins looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So now 4th and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Now they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
They stay on the ground. Geis again. Now Geis stripped. He lost the football. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Vikings defense getting ready to go. Big stop on the turnover on downs to get the football back, and now it's just all about salting this one away.
Yeah, just slowly bleed the clock away. Clock's definitely on your side. And, when we talk about analytics in the game,
hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Danielle Hunter make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Looking to throw on second down. Haskins, he's got it to Hilton. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was trying to get it to Terry McLaurin, and that'll bring up second down. Ball on the 30 as they come up second and 10. Again on second and 10, it's Haskins. Complete to Hilton. The reception good for 7. It's third down. The Redskins on third down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. This time it's 3rd and 3. Haskins on third down. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Now, if you're going to get rid of it, you better get outside the pocket.
Yeah, you have to get outside of that tackle-to-tackle box, right? Get out there, and then you can do it legally, but he wasn't able to do so, and they end up losing the down as well.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
So Kirk Cousins in the offense, down by 2 touchdowns, 2:15 remaining. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and that'll bring up second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Cousins the thrower. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. The Vikings on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Throwing is Cousins. Left side caught by Diggs. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case. Down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen. Complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 17 yards, first down, Vikings. To throw is Cousins. Open man, once again, it's Thielen. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt it.
He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Reuben Foster, the former national champion at Alabama, gets in for the sack. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Now Cousins on 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They'll run with Geis. He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally brought down at the 43. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. This is Geis. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now a run with Geis. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. So a victory here for the Washington Redskins, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Redskins, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, not much more to say. They dropped to 1-11. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears.
Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man. Oh, there with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I